In 1995, I had to watch this video as a little kid, and I still remember the nightmares it gave me of AIDS actors lumbering around in fuzzy red costumes and goofily malevolent scowls. This HIV boogeyman was the perfect model of malice as it waited to assimilate costumed T-cell people.
It immediately invades the T-cell and becomes part of it.
Perceiving viruses as enemies of humanity is just one manifestation of a fearful paranoia that germs and infectious diseases have instilled into society. There is a grotesquely horrific fear to microbiological discourse. For instance, in the widely read book, The Hot Zone, Richard Preston graphically describes symptoms of Ebola infection, including the infective, lethally hot vomit that is mixed with fresh red arterial blood. Preston's vividly horrific imagery transfixed and fascinated the public, but when actual electron micrograph pictures of viruses and microbes in action emerged in the mid-80s, a face had been given to the enemy. Public perception could now rally against something that seemed distinctly inhumanly other. The leader of a World Health Organization team described the Ebola virus as a gorgeously wrought ice castle, while T4 bacteriophages are regularly described to biology students as resembling spaceships. This terminology paints viruses as alien, but still keeping a castle-like totality that can be comprehended. Such language is easily interpolated into a paranoid style that regards microbes as free, active demonic agents that seek to undermine and destroy a way of life with their almost transcendent power. This connotative language turned into a militarized vocabulary evident even in scientific research and pedantry, which Peter Knight suggests was due to decades of Cold War containment tropes. The body is a fortress that must be defended from viral assailants. Infantry divisions of the body's own immune system function as magnetic mines that can perforate hostile organisms so that their lives trickle to a halt. And viral research labs are onioned within multiple zoned layers of walled security. The paratext of Preston's book even imitates these security measures, as if the mere knowledge of viral history contained within is itself dangerous. His book also follows exclusively military biohazard specialists, with its veterinarian researcher heroine, Nancy Jacks, being also a colonel in the US Army. But can we really consider virus panic to be an instance of paranoid thought or conspiracy theory where nature is the enemy? Preston suggests that viral disease is the revenge of the ecoforest, and the jargon used to name viruses by their original sites of incidence has left us with a databank full of viruses named after river tributaries and jungles such as Ebola Zaire, as if the river itself boarded a plane to knock on our door and take us out. Why does the industrially technological first world so readily regard nature and its microbes as enemies? Peter Knight suggests that this Manichaean romanticization is a compensatory fantasy of the heroic achievements of medical science in an age when once vanquished diseases are returning. This compensation is reminiscent of Jacques Lacan's ideas about the narcissistic mode of identification that determines the formal structure of man's ego. The ego was shattered to begin with. It is fragile, vulnerable, and fearful of germs. The warlike dialectic that pits humans against nature's microbes is itself a paranoid compensation to bolster a sense of individual or collective identity. The fear that viruses and microbiological disease agents generate comes not only from the perception that the enemy other is so apparently different, foreign, and hostile, but also because in a more subtle way it is difficult to say how different it is at all. It may very well erode the distinction between self and other at a cellular level. While the heart of the immune system rests in the ability to distinguish between self and non-self, autoimmune diseases like AIDS and other rapidly replicating viruses have taken away this comfortable certainty, leaving the line between self and non-self uncomfortably hazy.
In other words, what appears to be a part of your defense system is now really the enemy.
He's okay.
This wrinkle in the self-non-self distinction represents the discordance with one's own reality that constitutes the imperfect ego as Lacan sees it. In reaction to this inability to comprehend oneself as the whole, unified, ideal I, misrecognition resulting in paranoia happens. But in this case, instead of a secure paranoia that clearly distinguishes self-non-self and compensates for an identity problem, this misrecognized paranoia results from an identity problem. As Knight says, in an unstable world, the body is simultaneously the only thing that can be trusted and the source of our worst nightmares.